Coach Hugo Bruce there in the opener saying he didn't know South Africa when he got here. But I, for one, am happy that Coach Hugo Bruce made the mistakes that he did. That he went and tried absolutely everything that he did, because then through that, only through that, was he able to see what was in front of him.
And he also said, only a fool doesn't change his mind. You know, he's brought back some players who are now key members of that squad. It's
exactly 11 after the hour 6. Welcome to it. My name is Andile Ncube. He is Mazola Molefe. Right next to him is the man that is known as the principal. Together, we are known as the three wise men that come through every single Monday. Hey, listen, man. It's Sports Amplified with Andile on the mighty Metro FM. Before we go anyway, today's show is going to be particularly important because there's something that I've often wondered about South African football at a professional level. And to have a former chairman of a DStv Premiership team, and I mean, he's only 2 weeks out of being a DStv Premiership team chairman, insinuating, and it's not the first, Farouk of Maritzburg United once came here and insinuated during the playoffs that there could be dodginess in South African football at the highest level. He's done so again. In a statement released by Maritzburg United on behalf of Farouk Kadodia, the chairman of Maritzburg, I'm gonna just pick a paragraph here that he's written. He says, on being relegated, to the players, quote, "We felt betrayed by a few individuals whose questionable concessions of goals during the critical stages of our battle to survive proved detrimental. The absence of an attacking approach in search for a winning goal was overshadowed by unappealing defensive tactics."
Yo.
Subsequent to that, he fires the coach immediately and says there'll be changes within the players. What does that say to you when the chairman of a team that's been relegated says what he's watching is not his football, what the coach was doing is questionable, and what the players have done is, in the words of Mazola a little bit earlier, possibly salary thievery?
Yeah. According to the chairman.
It is disheartening, and I continue, to realize that you unwittingly, this is him speaking to the players.
Yeah.
He says, it is disheartening to realize that you unwittingly assisted those who hindered our progress, even as the club diligently fulfilled its obligations to honor your contracts and provide timely salary payments.
I like the part earlier in that statement where he says them losing their top flight status is at a cost of 50 million rands.
He does say that.
Yeah.
In the statement. He does say that, and he speaks to different people, and that was addressed to the members of the board, where he says it was a moment of disappointment in their inability to score even a single goal. It came at a significant financial cost of 50 million rands. Yeah. We're going to have the chairman on the show. We're going to give him a call because there's a lot to talk about as far as this is concerned. But also, don't go anywhere because it's coming up as well, the latest as far as Chiefs and Coach Nabi is concerned.
Yeah. We'll discuss that. Touch a little bit on it. I'll write a detailed story tomorrow morning, and it will be on sabcsport.com.
Vic, the principal, what do you have for us?
Hey! I don't know, the ocean, the Indian Ocean, is it in Maritzburg or in Durban? But I saw a player called Jarrod Marule creating an ocean in Maritzburg. Mgungundlov. Bam tabalang e look at.
Yeah?
What driver?
All right.
Victor is still suffering from off-season blues.
Victor's, we'll get into that. So much to talk about, of course. It's the weekend that was, and you can reflect on the weekend that was. You can reflect on the F1 if you so please. Max Verstappen winning again, but it's a third podium for that man there, Lewis Hamilton, and it seems that Mercedes are getting their car right all of a sudden. Are they getting it right? Is it too late? Well, it's too late for this season, but maybe in time for the next. What else can we touch on? We can touch on the football, of course. Bafana, a huge victory against Morocco. The Moroccan coach, though, saying, no, listen, it's off-season and our players they were on holiday. They didn't come to play. They were on holiday. That goal by Ziyech, so amazing. Some of the standout players from that game there. You have to mention Tembazwana. You have to mention Percy Tau. You have to mention the debutant, Aubaas. What a game he had. What about in goals?
By the way, he hasn't signed for Orlando Pirates.
Hasn't he?
No. That was an admin error. Because in the lineup,
Orlando Pirates. Tim Sugazi was not happy.
Yeah, the chairman was not happy, but there was an error because remember Miguel Team was in that squad and Batusi Aubaas was a direct replacement.
So what let's say that
let's say that Orlando Pirates, he's not an Orlando Pirates player. Sorry to disappoint you, Buccaneers.
So there we go. He had a great game there as well, so we can touch on that. Whatever it is from the weekend that you want to talk about, today is your day. 16 after the hour 6, the second break. When we come back, we get into the stories that made headlines over the last 24 hours. 18 after the hour 6. I'd love to hear you through your voice notes on 060-552-7303. But also give us a call, 086-000-2160. Hopefully at 1:45 we'll be able to take it. But do remember, and this is me now putting it out there, we need to take the chairman of Maritzburg United at some point. He'll let us know exactly what time he's available. He did say he'll make time for us. We did contact him rather late. But also, you know, you called this radio station and you said to me, Andile, when I know Hugo Wako was some of the words that came in. You know, you like this coach, you love this coach, Andile, because he does the interviews with you. Zakele Lepasa, hi, you and this Zakele Lepasa of yours. I'd love to hear from you guys now. Let's have conversations about Hugo Bruce. Let's have conversations about the Bafana team as well, on top of everything else. But firstly, let's talk Mamelodi Sundowns. Rulani Mokwena. It seemed as if it was a sure thing. It shouldn't be a problem. But the contract getting signed for Rulani seemed to hit stop signs and, little halts. What was going on there? Is it finally done?
It's finally done. Let me go back a little bit. Remember, we broke the story when his agent confirmed that there had been interest in North Africa for the coach, and they had begun talks with the Mamelodi Sundowns hierarchy over a new contract. And the hurdle here, which the agent hinted, is that the coach wanted to be the boss, meaning he needs his own technical team. And in that time, there were the three musketeers, Mangoba Mngiti and Steve Kompela, who still have contracts until June 2024. It's not clear whether they will leave or stay, but the coach has since then put pen to paper on a 4-year contract. Again, we broke that story last week. And the agreement at the moment is that perhaps there could be a compromise. I don't know if it means one of them will leave or they'll both stay until they run down their contracts, and then the coach from 2024 can.
So seemingly from what's been said, Mazola, is that Coach Rulani Mokwena wants to be the boss, and the person whom he doesn't mind losing is Mangoba Mngiti.
It sounds like that. I mean, if it means losing both, that could be the case. But Coach Rulani, this I can say without fear or favor, Coach Rulani wants Michael Loftman as his assistant coach. Remember, he brought in Loftman as a set-piece specialist, but he would like for him to be his number one assistant coach. But at the moment, the way the contracts have been done with the technical team at Sundowns, that wouldn't be the case as things stand, because the two other coaches still have contracts until June 2024. I would say it's looking more likely that Steve Kompela and Coach Mangoba Mngiti will be still part of the technical team at least until next year this time. But
how long is his contract?
That could change. Rulani Mokwena's contract is a new 4-year contract as a sole head coach of Mamelodi Sundowns. The announcement should be sometime this week, at the very latest, maybe before they return for pre-season on the 29th of June.
Wow, good contract, 4 years. Rulani Mokwena, congratulations to Rulani and Mamelodi Sundowns. Of course, it's a team that's worked. It's a method that's worked. I mean, going by anything, if anything, what they've done this season, then this is a right move for both of them.
Yeah.
You know, the shoe has fit perfectly, the hand has fit perfectly in this glove. We wish them the very best moving forward. And
the coach is already making moves. We've been writing at least a couple of stories about the Mamelodi Sundowns squad, as it were. I mean, several players have left. Andile Jali. Today we wrote the story that Lyle Lakay, who's returning from a loan spell at Cape Town City. Remember, at the time when he was loaned out, he was the reigning defender of the season. Andile Jali, the reigning midfielder of the season. So it doesn't seem like it matters with regards to the accolades at Mamelodi Sundowns, but when the technical team or the head coach has decided there's no room for you, then you're not going to be part of the team. That is the case with Lyle Lakay. Whether he leaves a free agent, we'll see in the coming days, but that's unlikely. He's a good player. A lot of teams could come in for him. It depends whether Sundowns could do swap deals or whatever. Remember that Mendieta deal done and dusted. Maybe there could be a trade of some sort, because you still have your Lesedi Kapingas, Surprise Rulani, who are leaving the club as well. Interesting, Hashim Domingo has left. He's set to join Raja Casablanca on a 2-year contract tonight or tomorrow, but my understanding, he's not signed and sealed, but the offer is there, should do his medicals, and if that goes well this week, Hashim Domingo will be announced as a Raja Casablanca player. Joins Percy Tau and Farhi Lakay in North Africa.
Wow. Good move there for him. His agent out there doing the work. Let's hope for the very best. What do we know about Tulani Serrero, by the way?
Tulani Serrero, obviously, last week his club in Saudi Arabia confirmed that he is not staying with the club. There's been a lot of rumors doing the rounds that he's coming back to South Africa, but my understanding is that Tulani wants to stay.
Yeah, and I spoke to his agent, unless if he's telling me different, but says that he's not coming back to South Africa.
My understanding is that Tulani is not interested in coming to the Premier Soccer League. He's happy to stay in the UAE, in Saudi, rake in the moolah there, and maybe if he comes back, it will be like maybe Kamoelo Mokocho, one more season and done. But Cream is not, as things stand, Cream is not coming back to South Africa. Sorry to break hearts whoever is hoping that Tulani Serrero is going to be in their squad in the PSL this season. The chances of that happening, zilch. We were talking about Farouk Kadodia coming on air shortly.
Yeah.
The breaking news out of Maritzburg, confirmed to us at SABC Sport exclusively, is that Coach Fadlu, you mentioned it earlier, his entire technical team, they were sent letters earlier this week that all good, let's go our separate ways, and Coach Fadlu is already linked with a move to reunite with Joseph Zimbabwe, who was appointed head coach of Raja Casablanca about a week or two ago. They worked together at Lokomotiv Moscow in Russia, a spell that was short-lived, but they worked a longer period together at Orlando Pirates. And Darian Wilkin, who was a performance analyst at Orlando Pirates, but was Fadlu's assistant at Maritzburg United, could also be heading out to Morocco. So a lot's happening. Maybe next week the show should just be about transfer news and movements because there's a lot. Off season keeps us busy.
Fadlu Davids there. I mean, I can't wait to hear from the chairman of Maritzburg United, because it's a scathing letter that was sent out to the media speaking on the coach Fadlu Davids and also some of the players that are within Maritzburg United. So he comes on in just a few. Let's move over now to Kaizer Chiefs. Coach Nabi has been the talk of town. You've broken and you've told us so much about him. Many are waiting for this announcement, but there's stories as well that he's, looking at other teams. You then came up and said Chiefs are also looking at other coaches. We spoke to journalists out in Tanzania, and they said to us, commentators, they said to us, this is the coach that a Kaizer Chiefs team will benefit from having. Are Chiefs fans any closer to getting their coach?
It's possible that Coach Nabi could be appointed the Kaizer Chiefs coach ahead of next season. What I do understand is Coach Nabi does have offers elsewhere on the continent and even outside. The issue here is that Kaizer Chiefs potentially offers him more stability. We know how it is in our continent, especially in North Africa. You come in 6 months down the line, they want to terminate your contract because they've got all sorts of clauses and mandates that you didn't meet. But the understanding is that potentially at Kaizer Chiefs, even if it's a 1 year deal, 1+1, 2+1, he could have a lot more stability and support, because he comes in with a pedigree that he's a winner. He's won 2 back-to-back trebles in Tanzania, and he could try to revive Kaizer Chiefs if he gets the support. Remember, the last time we spoke about the story last week Monday was that the coach wants his own technical team. I'll be writing a detailed story tomorrow just to give an update with regards to that conversation. But I can tell Kaizer Chiefs fans that conversations are still happening. The deal isn't completely dead. It hasn't collapsed because obviously it was hanging in the balance because of Kaizer Chiefs' insistence that they want Athazwane to still be part of the technical team, and maybe it now sounds like they could be swayed to remove Coach Arthur from the senior team and let whoever comes in, whether it's Coach Nabi or another coach, to have his own backroom staff.
Let's take a break. When we come back on the other side, he's here. There's new rules, apparently, as far as the referees is concerned. I don't know why he's not telling us about some of the decisions during that Bafana game, because some of those decisions left me gasping. But he says there's new rules. Now people are getting yellow cards during penalties. He sent me an entire clip of it. A yellow card during a penalty shootout. What can and can't you do? And if you do score that penalty, it's regarded as a non-goal. 29 after the hour 6, it is the referee's corner now, and to do so, we bring a man we're watching just a little bit ago now on the television, back in his heydays, refereeing a match. He's with us, Victor.
He's got content this week.
Let's hope he's got content this week. What's the first thing?
Let's go to Bafana and
Morocco.
There's a ball that hit the referee.
Yeah.
That is law number 9.
And I saw this.
Play.
So
Yes.
this was, the team is in attack.
Yes.
The ball hits the referee, ricochets back into the team that's in attack when we're trying to clear it.
Yeah.
And I thought to myself, surely you stop the game there and you do barking into a drop ball.
Yeah. It's called law number 9, ball in play. The ball is in play at all times when it is inside the field of play, including when it rebounds from the goalpost, from the corner flag. Lastly, it will say from the referee. But now, when it rebounds from the referee has to check 2 things. Did the team benefit? Does the ball goes to a teammate of that player? If the ball goes to the teammate of that player, play should be allowed to continue. And it happened at Bafana game where it hit the referee, it went to a Bafana player, and then referee correctly allowed play to continue. If it had gone to a Morocco player, it was inside the penalty area.
No, Vic, it happened twice. The first time it went to a Morocco player.
The one that I saw clearly is when it inside the penalty area, it hit the referee. It went to a Bafana player inside the penalty area. The player now advanced or attacked. So referee correctly allowed play to continue because the team benefited. But if it had changed direction and went to an opponent, that's when the law says, it won't be fair. Let's stop play when it hit the referee and do a drop ball.
Okay, speaking of stopping play.
Yes.
We're in the box, we're attacking. I shoot. It hits the opposition's player in the Ncubes, right?
Yes.
He goes down because he's been hit in the small parts.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
What must happen there?
FIFA
We
want
are
goals.
attacking, we're in the box.
FIFA want goals. Spectators want goals. People want goals. If it hits you in the Hlongwanes and the team is attacking, surely referees will not stop playing.
But the referee stopped the match. He stopped the game.
If
to take care of the Ncube. Come on.
Wrong decision.
No. We cannot say wrong. The law says to the referee, if it's serious.
How is it serious if it's hit you in
it's
your
hit you
mid
there.
area?
Especially if it's
serious.
head injury. That's
It's not on the head,
But
though.
if it's not in the
Well, not.
if it's just said if it's serious, the referee can stop play. So it's within his discretion to say
No, but Ravik,
Yeah.
if and I completely get this. If it hits you in your head, that sort of damage is something that is sometimes
They must be
irreversible.
stopped,
yeah.
I get it.
Yeah.
But it hit you under your belt.
yes.
And that was clear to see. Everybody could see that, yes, you're in pain a little bit, but it hit you under your belt.
And then the referee stopped play.
He stopped play.
It's within his right because if
To stop
it's-
play for that.
If the law is open, there's a grey area there.
What does the law say?
It says the referee can stop play if the player is seriously injured. So it
In
means
his-
the referee.
he uses his discretion.
Yes.
Players, when they go down, they always look like they're seriously injured.
No, some are simulating like this one in Marisbeck.
Vic, no.
So
no,
there's
no.
a grey area there. It's
Yeah,
on the
it's-
discretion of the referee.
yeah,
If
I
you
hear
feel
you.
it's serious,
No, not in that part. No, man.
and then
I mean, it
it's
can be
allowed.
serious, it's allowed. It's allowed.
Thanks.
No.
Ngiyabonga.
Nana Nico serious.
Let's go to the next one, The next one is on the 1st of July. There's law changes.
Again.
No, there's a lot, but not too much. So we're going to touch on the penalty shootout, where if a player, let me read so that you can clearly understand this one. That is law 10. It says clarification that. I can't see, my friend. But
That's your own writing.
No, it's
No,
FIFA's writing.
Which law?
Yeah, law number 10. Yeah.
Law number 10.
Yes.
The term,
Yeah.
determining the outcome of a match.
Yes.
The term kicks from the penalty mark to be replaced by penalties. Penalty shootout.
Yes.
Clarification that warnings and cautions for team officials as well as players are not carried forward into penalty shootouts.
Yes, let me explain.
What does that mean?
Let me elaborate. If you get a yellow card, especially this applies to competition games, your NetBank, your Telcom, competition games where the winner has to come out of the match. Now, if you get a yellow card during 90 minutes, you get a yellow card again during extra time. It's a red card. You go. Now, when a match goes to penalty shootout is not taken as part of the match. It's taken as a manner of deciding who will win or move to the next round or who will take the trophy that day. So when you get a yellow card during that time, whether you're a player or a coach, you will now receive 2 yellow cards in that match. So you won't be red carded. So that's a change. And it's a good one because penalty shootout is just a manner to decide.
So I can do whatever I want during penalty shootouts, basically. It
like
doesn't
the
count.
video I showed you where the player fainted when he kicks the ball, he put his leg, he does something Wavesa, good. So it's not allowed by law. It's called fainting in the run-up to take a penalty kick. It's unsporting behavior. Vesa, you can vase 1 meter before. But once you put the leg next to the ball, this other leg must not do anything but kick the ball. If it does anything, it's an infringement of law 14 and an act of unsporting behavior of which a player must be cautioned. That kick will be recorded as missed.
So basically, it's the new way of taking penalties, and we've seen a lot of players do it when they come and they hop and they scotch and they stutter and they do all of those things.
Yeah,
this is one of those ways to try and combat this.
Exactly.
And if you do that, whether you score or not, that penalty doesn't count.
Yellow card. If it's during the match, it will be an indirect free kick against you for infringing or for breaking the law.
And if it's a penalty shootout, then
it's recorded as missed.
That goal is recorded as missed.
Yeah.
So what Pogba does, who else? Jorginho. At Man United, we've got our captain now.
Bruno
Fernandes, what they do, all of this stuff, they're trying to combat that.
Yes. So now, the key thing here is once you put your leg next to the ball, this other leg must kick the ball. So if it kicks the ball, no problem. But if it does something else, like the video I showed you, that's where the infringement comes in. You vase. But if you don't vase, you put the leg, you kick, no problem. Like Lichalo, when he goes there, just jump, put the leg and kick, no problem. But now when you put your leg, you vase. That's where the problem comes in. Then that is fainting.
Okay.
Makes sense to me.
Okay. 6:36 on the Mighty Metro FM. I've got 3 wise men here. I can't wait to take your calls on 086 000 2160. Your voice notes on 060 552 7303. I think we might actually just take those voice notes now to make time for the chairman of Maritzburg United. The chairman of Maritzburg United has sent out through the club a scathing letter speaking to the board members of Maritzburg United and saying he's terribly sorry that he's lost 50 million rands, which is what comes with the loss of the status in the DStv Premiership. He then goes on to speak about the players, and he says that he's been so good to them. He's paid their salaries at a time when other teams are struggling with this. He has kept to his mandate of paying them on time, which, I mean, of course, is something that he must do. But he says he's done that regardless of the difficulties he's faced, but questions, or rather doesn't even question because he points straight to it, isn't it? Saying that he's not sure if they did all they could during that last match and during the entire period, but also points some fingers at the coach, if you ask me. But only he can tell us what, the meanings were in what he was saying, the multiple entendres in what he was saying all meant. Let's take a break. When we come back, we'll play a couple of your voice notes and then take the chairman. It's Sports Not Amplified with Andile. It's a 3 wise men on a Monday. We're going to be calling the chairman of Maritzburg United and Farouk Kadodia in just a few. But remember, on Wednesday, Pito Musiman is coming in. We're going to be speaking to Peter about all things football, his new club. But also, I just want to ask him about what he thinks of what's going on in Saudi Arabia. You heard the UEFA president a little bit earlier today, speaking about that Saudi league and what's going on at the moment with all the player acquisitions that they're doing.
Sure.
So we're going to be speaking to Peter about all matter of things come Wednesday. I'll give him the hour. He'll be here. We always have such great conversations because there's such key learnings and life lessons in anything and everything that Peter and his team have done. So I can't wait for that as well. But let's take a couple of your voice notes and try to get a hold of the chairman before we take your calls.
Yo, we gon' get them. Get connected. WhatsApp the Metro FM studio. 060 552 7303.
Oh, Mr. Ma'a. Ngihlanga amandla Rustenburg. My brother. Hayi ndathetha kabuhlungu ngelikhehle. Tata, this Madala is powerful. Ndiyamncoma ndandithe mna ndatsho ndathi makahamba goduke usiphindisele emva ndandijilo. Hayish ndiyawaginya amagama am. Ndiyawaginya ndingwasemadolweni ndithi askisi Hugo qhubeleka khehla lamu qhubeleka khehla uze kakuhle kakhulu ndikubethela izandla. Hayi unyanisile xa usithi only the fool can. Uthini kanene? Uthi and only the fool cannot change his mind. Ukuthi ke I shame ndiyacela kakhulu ndiyaxolisa Hugo Bros. Nimtolekele ngesixhosa. Camagu. Siyabulela kakhulu into zikabawo. Ndiyayithanda kakhulu inkqubo yakho.
Thank you.
Pick up my chance. Thank you very much to all. Ama guest wakho lapho amajita lapho niqhubeka kuhle amakhehla. Siyabulela kakhulu. Inkosi.
Don't give us names that belong to other people, Chief. Get us in trouble here. It's the three wise men. Go to the next one.
A very good evening, Andile and all Metro FM listeners. Mazola and Mr. Victor Tungwani. I would like to say two Bafana, one Morocco. Congratulations.
Hey, there's a commentator here.
Mungadi Victor Tungwani, I budula hangwe, I budula habedi, I budula hatolaboraru. Papari Fedile, Moses Mokwena of Kamuka Kwaila. Congratulations, Bafana.
Thank you. Hey, we're not missing Mihlali. Mihlali Mayambel had a great game. Had a good game.
Good evening, Andile. Look, well done to Bafana. They really played well over the weekend. I think they played to each other's strengths, and they did themselves proud and did the nation proud. I think everyone was happy to see how they displayed themselves. And I think from onwards, SAFA need to get us to play the top 50 nations in the world. With due respect to countries like Zimbabwe and Lesotho and Botswana, playing them is not going to help us with anything.
Hugo said that.
Stronger nations, to help us prepare for AFCON.
Hugo said
countries
that.
Like Zimbabwe, we'll play them in the COSAFA, but from here onwards, for boys to be even more stronger, we need stronger nations. Yes, people might say we're beaten by France 5-0, but look how they bounce back. Now they've qualified for AFCON, and they beat the number 1 ranked nation on the continent.
Wow, guys, I'm shocked because when Hugo was saying these things, he was seen as anti-South African.
He was attacked.
He was attacked by many of you. When he said the exact same thing you just said now, let's only play stronger nations. What's the use of playing Botswana, Zimbabwe?
I get now we've qualified for AFCON, so South Africans are feeling more confident now.
Right, let's take a break. When we come back, hopefully we'll have the chairman. If we can't, if we don't have the chairman, then we'll just take our course. Big news coming out of Maritzburg United in a statement sent out by the club on behalf of the chairman. Out at Maritzburg United, Farouk Kadodia, he had promised to talk to us, but I do know that he's doing quite the media run at the moment. He wrote a statement that speaks to send a message to everyone. He starts off with his board members. And he says, and I quote, "It was a moment of disappointment as the inability to score even a single goal came at a significant financial cost of 50 million rands. He goes on to say to the players, "We felt betrayed by a few individuals whose questionable concession of goals during the critical stages of our battle for survival proved detrimental. The absence of an attacking approach, which can only be put on the coach now here, in search of a winning goal, was overshadowed by unappealing defensive tactics." That's him speaking to the coach now. "It is disheartening," he says, "to realize that you," this is still in addressing the players, "unwittingly assisted those who hindered our progress, even as the club diligently fulfilled its obligations to honor your contracts and provide timely salary payments." And then you think that's enough, right? He then says,
he goes further.
"This was particularly challenging as reports surfaced of numerous teams facing their own difficulties in meeting payroll obligations. Undoubtedly, this season presented us with a multitude of obstacles, yet we failed to rise to the occasion as we had consistently done, especially in the previous playoffs and our resilient fight against Jomo Cosmos back in 2016. Despite this, we couldn't redeem ourselves. However, it is imperative that we leave the past behind us."
People have been wondering how clubs get to, even last week when we covered the playoffs, I said this is a 50-60 million rand fixture, and people are saying, but how do you calculate this? They forget clubs, top division, you get 2 million a month. There's the MTN 8, if you go all the way, you win 8
So already
million.
you're sitting at 24 million.
Then you got the Nedbank Cup, 7 million. and clubs do get what they call ex gratia, which is it prepares you for the season. It varies. It's a discretionary amount from the PSL to help clubs start their pre-season and all of that. It can be anything between $1 million to about 3 million. So you do all the calculations, the sponsorships involved. It's a lot of money, and I can understand where the chairman's coming.
And also, I mean, then the fact that you charge, of course, for gate fee entries and all
and
that, which is additional money.
Harry
Gwala gets packed out.
You know, when a team loses, every time the referees are blamed. But I'm happy now. I'm happy now. The blame is not even to the referees. I was listening attentively,
waiting for a referee.
So Jelly Chaban did a splendid job. And
I was there. Jelly was top class.
Let's take some of your calls now. If that call does happen, we will take it. But seemingly, the chair might be feeling a little bit of pressure when you hear it. It's all three this Monday. 086-000-2160. We'll take your calls rather, and in the way the chairman, if he is able to talk to us, of course, then we'll do that. Can't see names from this far. I'm not even wearing my glasses, so you will excuse me. Jimmy, let's go to Jimmy Macau. It's been a while. I've been missing you. Jimmy. Hey, tada. No, wait, wait.
Hey, Jimmy.
Jimmy.
Bona Andile mazolo re coach ntle tlatsa ape go chief go mona ga itse ba hano patela no bara
Jimmy, just go to sabcsport.com ka o sa no say mara ska tswa too early
ka 7 na ke ra Jimmy ha ke tsowa ke tsena ra website ke nya go bona ro re
le nna ke na hana be a bino go bona me bala wait my number 2 story ne ka ratele bo Hasef Baka all the players ba ba tlhokopetseng le di coachara
Filma singa dunga
me bara ba rila yang arno arba fenchance at least ba fana they did well ka ba lebo hama ke well done right
unya go renga zakele le pasa cause wa khopolo no renga ngere
se le pasa ke mpia
thank you
ma
tara
bona go fastona Brian I'm always listening me bless that mo ke nna mo na ba ngwana ma bode leakage wile es ko mo le tso lukisetse tlile ga tsena ba ira selo ba transformation ko ra ke me bala
askisi Jimmy askisi Jimmy absolutely gotta love Jimmy. Let's go to Mandilake is out in Diepsloot. Mandilake, it's been a while. You've got an apology to make.
No apologies.
No, but Mandilake, what did you say about Hugo Bruce?
Mandilake, eat some humble pie. Eat some humble pie.
I don't know whether we have amnesia or we have a problem. When last did we play AFCON? Do you know that we have missed one AFCON in Cameroon? Do you know that we're playing quarterfinals to beat Egypt in Cairo? We beat them in front of 90,000 of their fans. What is Hugo Bruce has done? So
he's qualified you for AFCON.
And he's beat. When last did you beat a number one nation?
Wait. He must apologize to someone like me for believing to these players, even though he was mocking them. There is that clip. I'm not a journalist. I don't keep clips. He was mocking someone like Ketika last season.
He wasn't. No.
He
didn't mock him.
No.
Okay, let's let Mandilake finish. Yes, Mandilake.
Wait. He was mocking our PSL. Though we send teams to quarterfinals each and every year, you get a wicked team of Kaizer Chiefs. In finals, you get teams like Marumo Gallants, but he didn't believe in football of this country. He had to be made to ask for forgiveness. Now I'm saying the coach from Brazil, he spoke with us well and like, guys, we have to fix here and there. We failed to do that. But we are not like, I don't know whether we have amnesia. We were playing teams like France. We beat France by 2010. It was a dead rubber, of course. We beat Spain, world champions, Nabo Enesa. But Hugo Bruce is going to give you a message that, I know, Laba Bantombuga Kulu, go out there and lose. What kind of a coach is that? So hopefully now he will believe in our boys then, because I've never stopped believing in Bafana Bafana. He will believe in our boys and I will support going forward.
All right. No, I think that's fair. Thank you so much. I appreciate you.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Andile.
I mean, that's fair. But he didn't mock. I think it's your wording there. He didn't mock.
Mocked Pesita.
It's just your wording there. Let's go to West, out in Tembisa. West. Hey, it's the weekend that was, my brother.
The weekend that it was. I must say, I must give
the South African players credit, those who represented us against Morocco, and thanks for the ticket.
Yes, you won them here. Did you enjoy?
It was a beautiful day. Yeah.
I know, that's brilliant.
What day could one have wished? Beating number 1 ranked team in Africa. And it goes to individual players. I think each and every player that played in that the weekend game, I think they've been putting a lot into their game. And the consistency of the coach. If you look since '96 to date, our squad has been changing and changing. But with Hugo Bros, even if he started so bad, nobody believed in him. But he did show that he will be consistent in his 23-man squad, which they did well. Every player has been improving, regardless of bad result that we got. And when was the last time we qualified for AFCON? And I believe we've got a chance to actually reach the semi-final, if not bring the cup home. At the present moment, the individual Pesita who came back from injury, luckily, he played brilliant. That left-hand side of South Africa was something else.
I appreciate you, man. We're starting to be, so thanks so much. I want to go to Tsakani now. Tabiso is out in Tsakani. We've got Dixon before that. Dixon.
Hi, Andile.
Hey, what's going on?
Yeah, Andile, I watched the game for Cape Town Spurs when they beat Catholic Stars. Sean Bartlett was in tears. He was in tears not because it's the tears of joy. He was saying people are against us and they don't know that we've got something powerful that is with us. He was referring to God. You understand? Now you get the Maritzburg chairman saying things like this. Andile, we've got a big problem in our league, a very, very big problem. We need investigative journalism. I don't know, everyone is investigating everything, but they don't investigate the shenanigans of football, starting from way back. It starts from way back, Andile. If
Okay, hold on. Dixon, sorry, you're going to have to paint a picture here for me because I'm not following. Paint the picture for me here. So the one is praying and he's praying to God. Fine, I get that. And then the one is complaining about the shenanigans. How are you marrying the two? What's going on that we don't know?
You know what's happening, Andy?
No.
These players from Maritzburg United, some of them already, they were eyeing their contract with big teams. Obviously, what is earning at Maritzburg is little than what he's going to get in the team that is looking for him, that they're scouting him. So obviously, do you think that guy can pull up? You know, I watched the game. The only player who got in the sub, who was playing his socks off, it's only Alimeza. I was really thinking myself, how can the team from the PSL that is only in need of one goal, how can they play like this? They don't even find numbers in the box, even in the dying minutes, Andile. Even in the dying minutes, no one was willing to go in the box. You can't do that, Andile. Something is wrong with our soccer. People like Ace said people tried to give them bribes. They never brought those names forward. We have to be frank about that, Andile. And now people like Ace are at the helm of the PSL. What is that, Andile? Where are we going as a nation? We have to be frank. There's people who are untouchable here in South Africa. Why this investigative journalism? They must go back, even if people can just wear masks and talk what was happening in the past. It happened in Italy. It's happening all over the world. Why South Africa is not happening?
But we did have investigation in South Africa, a lot. I will remind you of Operation Dribble. I will remind you of Siminya Commission, a lot. We had lots of investigations.
But
so what are you talking? Which investigation are you talking about? Because Maritzburg went to the playoffs last year and they won. They came back through the playoffs.
But names are not being brought forward. The findings have not found any wrongdoing.
You cannot have a commission of inquiry. Just names should be brought forward.
They were brought forward. I will tell you the names of referees who have been arrested. I will tell you the names of the referees who have been arrested. We have Enoch Khadeb in Cape Town and Durban.
He's not saying the referees. He's saying the players, the chairman, the owners of teams.
The owners of teams, everyone. I'm not talking about the referees. The referees are worse. Those ones are worse.
Dixon, I got to let you go. Thank you so much. Faith is in the building. And we need to take Faith very quickly. But before that, tell me this. How many players who play in South Africa this season have scored more than 6 goals in Africa, playing in CAF competitions? I know one who scored 7 in 10 games. And in the league, he scored 10 in 19. Why is it that Chivaviro is never mentioned at national team level?
Good question. Oh, maybe it takes time. Hugo is still maybe Hugo's still assessing.
How come Chivaviro is never mentioned? This is a striker. So he's the second best South African striker after Mayo.
Yeah, I thought he's a Zimbabwean, but when I did
think
some
that is the
investigations,
problem.
Yeah, that's the problem.
I think that is one of the problems.
No, he's a
When you
local
say
boy.
chi,
I think people think Chivaviro is not South African.
No,
Variki Shangwar, Katino, Imkai.
Oh, and by the way, we'll have a Chivaviro story later this week.
One after the R7. Think about it. Chivaviro, he's a South African player. 17 goals, 7 in continental competition. He scored on the continent, traveling with Marumo Gallants. Never ever. Why?
Well, we'll mention Chivaviro this week. There's a story dropping.
Does it have to do with the club everybody wants to know about tomorrow?
We'll drop the story this week.
All right, we've got to get out of here, unfortunately. The chairman of Maritzburg United held up elsewhere, but we appreciate you guys for staying with us. And, of course, even if the ones that claim they're going to come through don't, we've got very, very capable hands here. We appreciate you. Tomorrow we'll take calls for a little bit longer as well to make up for today. Thank you so much for coming in. Remember, Wednesday, Peter Musiman is in the building. Ooh. Let's talk absolutely everything. If you want to know anything, keep ready, get those questions ready. It's going to be a Q&A of sort where we'll allow, as many of those to come through. For myself, Davik, we'll see you a little bit later on Soccer Zone. Mazola's on the bench. We are here. Pela, and so